What's up guys, Tim from Heavy Metal Off-Road here. We have Mike's Jeep Gladiator back in the shop, and today we're going to be installing some FCK Lightbar pods, 180 degree floods, some rock lights onto our Rocket Modular Series Overland rack. So we got some rear facing spotlights that have side floods, one on each side. So those are actually going to go on these tabs here, these heavy metal tabs, come with your rack. These guys here are 180 degree floods, and FCK Lightbars was able to custom machine some housings for us. So they'll be surface mount instead of flush mount, and that's gonna work really well with our rack. They come with brackets like this, and you can use this to bolt directly to your rack here, or here, or here, or here, or wherever you want. In this case, we're gonna mount it probably somewhere right about here. Maybe try to recess it a little bit because that's what the customer wants. Now these rock lights here, we're gonna adapt them to the underside of the rack, and he wants 2 of them. So when you have them installed up in there, now FCK Lightbars gives you everything you need, all the bracketry, the nuts and bolts that go inside there, the washers. And then to mount it, they give you some stainless steel hardware with locking nuts and locking rings as well. I'm going to show you how to do this right now. All right, the easiest way to mount the pods to the rack or to attach the pods directly to the brackets that come with it ahead of time. Make them kind of snug, but to where you can still slide the light around a little bit. Once you have your light mostly tightened down but still able to slide, now we'll go ahead, grab the carriage bolt that comes with your rack kit, put it in the bracket, put it into the slot on the rear part of the pillar. Just push on that with your thumb, grab your 9/16 and tighten it down. You want to position your light where you're going to want it. We're gonna mount these lights so the side floods are flush with the rack, and you'll get the light going out this way as well as the spot going out straight. You can slide these up or down. We're gonna push these all the way up. We'll tighten down this hardware right here. Take the Allen wrench that comes with the kit, tighten them down for now, and when you get outside where it's dark or inside a dark shop, you can adjust them. Now that you've got your pod lights up, we're going to go ahead and assemble our floodlights. Customer Mike wants to mount them in these specific locations on both sides. So, easy enough. We're going to take another light bracket. We're going to mount it to the molly panel, so we'll take one of these 3/8 holes, use a 3/8 bolt, put it right through like that. We'll get a washer and a nut on the back side. We'll adjust it later. If you need to tilt this down more, we can take this light bracket and just slide it up a little bit, and then bring this down, and you'll have all the light that you need down in this area. Now we got our LED rock lights that we need to set up. Pretty nice, really like it. Hard epoxy on the back, so it's all completely sealed, weatherproof. So we'll just slip this into its kind of rubber holder. And what we're going to do is use a little bit of hardware that we are going to supply because we want some longer bolts. Drop these in like this. Take the cable and bring it forward this way. Goes right through the slots in the rocket rack. If you're running a rooftop tent, those rails that they sit on are usually about 1.5 inches, sometimes 2 inches tall, and they're gonna mount way over here and way over here. So, you know, you're talking about 3/4 of an inch, maybe right here. You're gonna completely clear your rooftop tent of anything here. Because of the rubber that's holding the light, you're gonna want to just tighten these down enough to where you compress the lock ring, the lock washer, but no more than that. Inside the Jeep Gladiator, there are 4 wires that go to your auxiliary switches. This tan with the red stripe, that's switch 1, and that's a 30 amp circuit. The green, switch number 2, and that's also a 30 amp circuit. The orange, switch 3, 15 amp circuit. Blue, switch 4, also a 15 amp circuit. So we've got switch 4, blue wire. The auxiliary button is pushed on the inside, and I have a way to test this method. All right, just get a couple of wires, a couple of leads. Red to red, black to black on the light. We go to the battery, the ground, and then we're gonna connect to the blue wire, which I've just stripped. And there you have it. Switch 4 will work. I'll push the button and turn it off. FCK does supply some really nice wiring harnesses. They have connectors that are weatherproof, switches, relays built into them, and even an inline fuse. So these are super awesome. They're really well built. Get your grounding strap and everything. However, because we're wiring it to the Jeep switch, auxiliary switch setup, we're gonna wire these directly over to what Jeep supplies. These rock lights here use 24 gauge wire, 180 degree floods. These are 20 gauge, and the rear spots come with the harness built in. So what we're gonna have to do is let's go back about 2 inches. We're gonna cut the harness like this. We're gonna look inside. We're gonna see, okay, what kind of gauge wire is this? So it looks like 20 gauge wire. We're gonna tie these two together, both sides. So we'll run a heavier gauge wire to accommodate both lights. We're actually gonna tie these two lights together. They're gonna come on one switch. Okay, so we're starting to get the wiring routed through the rack here. We got some wires that are joining together. It's all going out that way, boom, down. We're gonna have a ground, one of the bolts right there. And then we're gonna have power wires that run down into the front. It's gonna go back up to the engine bay. In the meantime, we got this
We're not going in between.
Really heavy rooftop tent that these guys are carrying.
Well, it's for the size and the weight.
And it's frozen. And so we're gonna be putting that up here as well. As well as an 8-foot awning.
Oh, how about you can get your end up and get it on the rack. I'll come on the back side.
Push, push.
Stand by and push. Okay.
This dude's a monster.
Teamwork makes the dream work, y'all. All right. There we go. When I was mounting it, I went on and I measured. So I had from here, from rack to front, and then rack on that side. They didn't tell me I could have. I called the technical
Mamba.
team. They told me I could have.
We threw the rooftop tent on, and because this has a dual track, it's got some adjustability. Turns out we use the outside track, and the outside track and they dropped right in, and it actually already kind of centered itself due to the amount of clearance we've got here. So we got a total of 6 bolts holding it in. And as you can see, we're finishing our wiring job. We just started doing a little bit of the looming, and we got some 3-way splices in here. We just need to loom all of this, run the wires up to the front. We're gonna run this ground to this bolt right here. So we have the pods mounted upside down here, so we get the sides. Then we have the 180-degree floods that are mounted closer to the center of the vehicle. So we've got our little light bracket here. Everything's wire loomed, zip tied, and tucked away flush under the rack. Rock lights right here. Bringing it down. And you got our side floods. Comes right down here. We have a little bit of hose here to protect the ground wire. It comes down into a little bit of a loop, and we attached it right here. If you're looking at it from the front towards the rear, you can see we got a little Y that goes off here. Always add a little bit extra wire so that you can adjust things or move things or whatever you need to do, rotate. You don't want everything super taut, you want just a little bit of looseness. Now that we've got the rack all wired up, went ahead and ran the wires between the body and the bed of the truck on top of the frame, zip tied them over to some existing wire looms, came up through above the fender on the passenger side. And now we're ready to go ahead and make our final connections here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to turn on, see, we've already stripped number 4, so we'll start with the down lights, which are the rock lights. We'll go inside, turn on the ignition accessories, activate number 4. Then we're gonna apply one of these wires to see which light lines up, because I didn't mark them. So we'll just go ahead and touch them. They should light up, and we'll just do that light by light. Oh,
Faster.
Right. Blinded. And so this one must be the down light.
Down lights, yeah.
Let me try again. Is that the one? Oh,
My side!
Oops. That one?
Woo!
That one?
Still my side, as far as I can tell. And that's down lights.
Great. Sorry, man. Looks like we've got everything all wired up. Let's turn them all on. Oh yeah. We got light pattern all the way over here. Boom. Wow. Look at the difference in this. We get these things all properly adjusted, and you'll have all the light exactly where you want it. Here is the final wiring job. So we have just tucked away a little bit, zip tied, insulated terminals. Boom, clean. So that just comes up from right in there. We take a look underneath. That's the top. That's the front of the vehicle on the passenger side. Pull back this. You see the wire loom just comes down. Down, down, down. Right to the top of the frame. And we follow the top of the frame behind all the body mounts. And they're all zip tied to the existing wiring. We go behind the last body mount, and this is in between the bed and the body, so that goes straight up. Wire loom goes down in here, right behind this. And you just have a little bit of exposed wire loom right here. One last final look. Now we'll go ahead and close the cover to show that you have plenty of room with the bed cover and the lights. Plenty of room. Guys, thanks for watching another one of my videos here. Head over to heavymetaloffroad.com to get your modular rack. We're also going to, in the new year, put up those FCK Lightbars, as well as some quick fists, max tracks, some recovery gear, among some other new things. So anyway, check it out. Thanks again for watching. See you later.